Welcome back students in second part of today's lecture. In our first part we have discussed about momentum in detail. Now let's see Newton's second law of motion which is related to momentum. So according to Newton's second law of motion, the rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the applied unbalanced force, and the change in momentum is in the direction of this force. Now let me explain you how this law works. What actually is said in this law. So students, we all know what is momentum. Momentum P, vector quantity, is equals to m into v. Okay. So what is the first line of this second law? That the rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the applied unbalanced force. Now students, pay full concentration here. Suppose one body we are having of mass m and it is moving with velocity v. If suppose any external force is applied to the body, so what effect of this force will be there on the body? That force will increase or decrease its speed. Okay? If we apply force on any object, so the velocity of the object will change. Now here you see what is momentum? Mass into velocity. By applying force, mass will not change, but what will change? Velocity. If velocity will change, so directly what happened? The momentum will also change. Okay? If we applied more force, more change will be there on velocity, so more change will be there on momentum. If we apply less force, less change will be there in velocity and less change will be there in momentum. So that means whatever force we are applying, according to that the velocity will change, and that's why the momentum of the body also will change. So that's why it is written in the first line that the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied. Because of force, velocity will change, and because of velocity, momentum will change. And what is the second line of this statement? The change in momentum will be in the direction of this force. That means whatever force we are applying, in that force's direction, the change of momentum will be there. Okay. How it works? See here, velocity is a vector quantity, and that's why momentum is also a vector quantity. Now suppose we are applying force on any body in the direction of its motion. So that time what happen? The velocity will increase. Okay. When we will apply force in the direction of motion of body, the velocity will increase, and that's why momentum will also increase. If we apply the force in the direction opposite to the motion of body, so velocity will decrease, and that's why momentum will also decrease. That means by changing the direction of force, we can change the direction of momentum. Okay? At once it can increase and other time it can decrease also. How? By changing the direction of motion. That's why the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied, and also the direction of change is in the direction of force applied. I hope now the second law of motion is clear to you all. Now let's see its mathematical formula, and by that formula how we can derive the formula of force. So according to the first line of second law of motion, force is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. Now students, whenever you see this word rate, so you have to automatically understand that here change of momentum upon time will be there. Whenever rate is there, that means according to time we are measuring that change. So here you can see one formula, force directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. Okay, and rate of change of momentum equals to change in momentum upon time. If there is any kind of change, that means the final and the initial momentums are different from each other. So change means final momentum minus initial momentum. Change in momentum equals to final momentum minus initial momentum upon time. Now suppose the object is having mass m and initial velocity u and final velocity v. So one object is there having mass m, is moving with initial velocity u, and by applying a force F, it gains a final velocity v. So what will be the final momentum of the object? mv. And what was the initial momentum? mu. So by putting the values here, force equals to F, final momentum mv, initial momentum mu upon time t. Now when m here is common, so we will take it out. So F directly proportional to m, v minus u upon t. Okay. Now from first equation of motion, this is first equation of motion, v equals to u plus at. We will further discuss about this motion in this equation in detail. Now here you understand that a is the acceleration. See, the body was having initial velocity u, okay, and after applying force F, it gains final velocity v. That means there is change in velocity, and if there is change in velocity, that means here one acceleration is there, and that acceleration is shown by a. So from first equation of motion, v equals to u plus at. Now let's at be here, u will transfer that side, so it become v minus u. And from arranging this again, when we move t this side, when we transfer t this side, we will get this equation. So v minus u upon t equals to a, that is acceleration. By putting this value here, v minus u upon t, in place of this we will put a. Okay, and when we want to remove this proportionality sign, in place of this, when we put equal sign, we have to multiply one constant. Okay, here the constant k is chosen in such a manner that the constant of proportionality k becomes 1. That means F, M and A, they are measured in SI value, SI units. So k is measured in such a manner that its value becomes 1 here. So when we will put k equals to 1, we get F equals to ma. F is force here, m is mass, a is acceleration. So by Newton's second law of motion, we got this formula of force, mass into acceleration. So we can also state Newton's second law of motion like this: the applied force on an object can be given by the product of mass of the object and acceleration produced in it. But in exam you don't have to write this one, you write the actual statement. Okay, from that statement only this statement is derived, because this formula is derived. Now from this we can find out the SI unit. Okay, so SI unit of force is Newton. What is value of 1 Newton? 1 Newton equals to k into 1 kilogram into 1 meter per second square. Okay, so definition of Newton, what we will get? 1 Newton is that force which when acting on a mass of 1 kg, here we put 1 kg. So when this force acts on a mass of 1 kg, it produces in it an acceleration of 1 meter per second square in the direction of this force. Okay, so here this is the mass, this is the acceleration. So 1 Newton is that force. When we apply that in 1 kilogram of an object, it produces 1 meter per second square of acceleration on that object. So this is it for today's lecture. Today we have discussed Newton's second law of motion in detail. Okay, this law is very important. If you have any doubt for that, you can clear that. Okay, and take care, goodbye, and do some productive work.